Mr. Flores.
Thank you, Director Burwell, for joining us today. Appreciate your testimony. Last year, I asked a number of questions to your predecessor, and I asked for those to be submitted in writing following the hearing. There was not time to answer the questions. The OMB has not answered those questions, so I would like to have those answered if I could. The first question is this, and then I'll go into some other questions after that. Would the President like his budget put on the floor of the Congress for an up or down vote?
If that is what the Congress desires.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Coming into office a little over 5 years ago, the President came in with a vision or agenda, whatever you'd like to call it. You talked about a vision today. And in this vision that he had, it led to the following policies: $1.7 trillion in new taxes, $800 billion in stimulus spending, handouts for failures like Solyndra to the President's friends and supporters. They cost hundreds of millions of dollars of hardworking American families. Legions of unelected, unaccountable bureaucrats that have put the boot of their federal government on the economic necks of American families and paychecks. And then there have been a growth of $7 trillion in our federal debt that's going to be placed on the backs of our kids and grandkids. Now, here are the outcomes of those policies. One is the middle class has shrunk. We have middle class incomes have shrunk. Inequality has increased. The ranks of those living in poverty has increased dramatically. The labor force participation rate is the lowest since the disastrous years of Jimmy Carter's presidency. And there has been an explosion of families that live off taxpayer-provided benefits. Now, notwithstanding those results tied to those policies, and the economic failures of those policies, the President has sort of come up with the same budget again. And here's what he's proposed: hundreds of billions of dollars of new spending. I mean, it's called investment, but it's still new spending. $1.8 trillion in new taxes, more Washington regulations and economic interference, and trillions of dollars of new debt on the backs of future generations. And so these are the questions I would like you to answer. And I think in the interest of time, I would like you to, since we're running late today, answer these in writing for me. So I ask OMB staff to provide the questions. First, if the President's policies failed the first time and they hurt families and paychecks, remember that's what you start out, that this is all about jobs and paychecks. And if the first round of the President's policies have failed to improve jobs and paychecks, why are we doing it again? Why are we going to do the same thing and get a better result? So please answer that for me. And the second is, please reconcile OMB's forecast, which are more optimistic than CBO's forecast, which are less optimistic, and talk about, in your reconciliation, talk about the deficit impacts of those and also the impacts on unemployment if we could. And that's all I have. I'd ask you that you submit that in writing, and I yield back.